Hello guys, Neon Genesis here and welcome to my dungeon guide to Sohm, the second dungeon you'll come across in Final Fantasy XIV's Heavensward. The first thing to note about this dungeon is that the adds have a fair bit of HP and can take quite a while to go down, especially if you're used to dungeons prior to Heavensward. The first thing to note is that you will see some pollen clusters along your way throughout this dungeon. Quite like the pods in 1000 Mors of Total Rack, ranged DPS or mages need to dispose of these as necessary. After a while you would have made your way to the first boss of this dungeon, Raskovnik. Raskovnik does several different abilities you need to watch out for. First we have Acid Rain, which does AoE puddles on all players, which can be avoided by dodging them as necessary. Next we have Cyto Beam, which can easily be dodged by dodging it when necessary. Next we have Sweet Scent. When Raskovnik uses this ability, he will attract bees to himself. These bees need to be killed as soon as possible. At the same time, a single player will be marked like this. This is signalling that the player will soon be sucked in, stunning that player soon after doing so. He'll also eat any bees that were left unkilled, increasing his attack power, giving himself a buff. Marked players should move to the end of the battle arena to avoid being sucked in, avoiding the Devourer AoE in time. At the end of Devourer he'll use an AoE called Spit. This damage is determined by the number of bees left remaining on the battlefield. Rinse and repeat, and you'll have Raskovnik down in no time. Afterwards you'll come across drakes and dragons in the next set of pulls. Just be careful of their AoEs and you'll be fine. The next boss you'll encounter is Myeth, a T-Rex looking dinosaur. Myeth can hit pretty hard, so healers be aware. Myeth also has a wide AoE that can be dodged, just dodge this when necessary. Throughout the fight, Myeth will use an ability called Primordial Roar. This will call adds to spawn as well as cause AoE damage to the full party, doing roughly around about 1000 damage to everyone. It's highly recommended that you kill these adds as soon as you can. If they're not defeated, Myeth will pick up the adds and use a move called Mad Dash, throwing the adds at the players, doing high damage. Healers need to be on their toes for cures, as players will need healing rather quickly. Shortly after, a Chime of the Mountain will spawn. He will start casting a long AoE spell. This needs to be killed as soon as possible. If the spell gets off, it will do massive damage to all party members. After that, the fight repeats, so kill those adds, dodge those AoEs, and the fight will be a breeze. There's nothing to majorly note when coming across the next set of adds after the second boss. All that you'll really need to know is you'll be killing dragons and wyvern related enemies, and there's going to be a lot of AoEs going off, so just take care with dodging. At some point the pulls will look like it's way too much, but they're not too strong and their HPs will go down pretty quickly. Take this opportunity to have a go at those new abilities that you've not had time to play around with too much. Finally, after some time you'll then come across your last boss, Teoman. He looks a lot more scary than he is, so don't worry. Teoman will use a move called Chaos Blast, shooting line AoEs and circle AoEs for you to dodge. Just dodge these as necessary. Teoman's main move is Comet. He'll start by dropping loads of AoEs on the floor. At the same time, marking up 2 of your players. When this happens, run to the opposite end of the dungeon, for me it was the entrance, and wait for the comets to drop. You'll see a blast radius AoE flashing, indicating that the comet has dropped. As soon as you see it flashing, run to the opposite side of the dungeon once again to avoid the AoE. At 40 to 45%, Teoman will head into the middle of the room, rendering himself invulnerable. At the same time, he will start marking players for Heaven's Fall, which drops them a light AoE damage on their head, and summons lots of other AoEs to dodge as well. He will also occasionally use a move called Dark Star, which does a room-wide AoE and also grants him a stacking damage buff. Your goal here is to simply kill the wings and dodge AoEs dealing with Dark Star and Heaven's Fall. After breaking his wings, he'll use more Chaos Blasts, and this time targeting 3 players for Comet. Deal with these as you did before, and the fight will be over in no time. And as always guys, if this video has helped you, please leave a like and a comment down below. And as always guys, I've been Neon Genesis, so until then, happy gaming.